Hello and welcome to the world of programming. In this video, we are going to take a look after different methods of using fetch in HTML, CSS, and JS. So, without wasting any time, let's get started. Now, as you can see, I'm in my folder of fetch, and now I'm going to create a file here with the name index.html. And after that, I'm going to create a file here with the name of style.css. And after that, we are going to create a file with the name of, let's say, script.js. Now here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go to my index.html file, and let's say we are having a basic boilerplate, and let's see various methods of fetch. So let's say various methods of or various methods or various uses of fetch. After that, let's go here and let's make a button here to show how it's going to work. Okay. So even before that, let's see the most basic use of fetch is to fetch JSON files. Either it can be an offline file or an online file. You can fetch online APIs because APIs are also in the form of JSON, so they are all fetched by using fetch. And you can even fetch a simple you can make a simple file here and say like data.json, and here you can say like name. Let's say to be a name to be equal to Ayush. And after that, let's say you're having a age or okay. So that's it. Let's take the first and a very basic example here, and let's connect the script here with the name of script.js. After that, let's go here and say link CSS, and we are going to link the style.css here. And after that, let's click here and click on open with live server, and let us see is it working or not. So you can see here it is. So now the next thing we are going to do, we are going to say in the script.js. Okay, now let's say fetch. Fetch is a function in which you need to give the input here, the URL or anything, any file name as well. So let's give the data.json here. And after that, let's say dot then we need to convert the data into a JSON format. Okay, so let's convert the uh, data to a JSON format, and after that, let's say dot then. Yeah, means in the response we are going to send one of our means callback here and say that console.log res. Let's save this and let's go back here and inspect. Now you can see here we are getting an object in which there is a name Ayush. Okay, so let's close this right now and let us go here. Okay, now here's the first and the most basic thing is data.json. You can see here it is. Now suppose if I want to fetch any other thing like okay, so let's take a very basic API. In Chrome I'm going to just search for um names of different countries JSON GitHub. Okay, if I search for that, and I will get a list of countries in JSON. So let's go here and okay, so this is a very big file. Let's click on the raw and let's copy this URL here as an online URL. Okay, let's go here back. Let's fetch this online URL here. Okay, let's paste it and save this. Now if I go back to my file and here let's inspect it and let's go to the console here. We are getting an error that okay, what is this at position in JSON and expected property name is at JSON. Okay, so we are getting an error here. So what's the error? Okay, so let us see on which line number it is to identify. Let's see VM. Okay, so here we are getting an error at this place that okay, so we are here it is for DFA code. Okay, so it's something like this, right? So okay, let's close this right now. Let's take any other one. So let's go back. Okay, there's no option of going back here. Let's go back here. Let's go back. Countries, JSON, GitHub topics. Let's go here and let us see. Okay, so let's click on countries here and now let's click on this JSON file here. After clicking on JSON file, let's just click on raw file and Let's copy this. Now after copying this, let's go back here and paste it as an online URL. Let's go back here and let's see is it working or not. Let's inspect it. So okay, so we are getting one response here. We are getting an array of, okay, so here it is. As you can see, we're getting all the details here. So this is how you can fetch the offline as well as the online URLs. Now the next thing comes is how you can fetch a simple text file. Suppose you don't want to fetch the JSON files, you want to fetch just the text. So suppose if I don't want this as a JSON format, I just want the text here. So I just say text, I go to inspect here, and if I go to the console, you can see that here's the text, right? It's in the form of text, it's not a JSON here. Right now it's a text. So it's saying like show mode. Let's click here, and yeah, as you can see. Now the next thing, suppose you want that there's a container. Okay, let's do one thing here. Let's say we are having a button. We are having a button with the say click me to change the, okay, so let me say click me to change the container. Okay, let's say container. Let's save this and go to style.css and say background. First I'm going to say like background. Okay, first of all let's say button. After that let's say background none, and after that let's say background none. First of all background none. Now let's say background color to be equal to black. Let's say color to be white. Okay, let's save this, and yeah, that's it. Let's save this and let's go back here. Something like this we are getting, right? So let's say height, let's say 30 pixels, or okay, let's say 20 pixels. Let's save this, and we're getting something like this, right? So let's increase it. So let's say 30. Okay, let's say 30, and after that let's say border to be none and outline to be none. Okay, let's say outline none, and after that let's say something like border radius. Let's give some border radius, as it is beautiful in fact. Let's save this and let's go back here, so you can see something like this, right? Now let's give some cursor pointer here to show it's a button as well. After that let's make a container here, dot container. This is home page. Okay, suppose it's a home page. Okay, and you what you want that this is a home page and it changes to login page whenever someone clicks on the button. Okay, so let's make a login.html file that will contain the login details. Okay, so if I go here and say something like okay, let's say like login, and after that let's say in the body let's say this is login page. Let's save this and let's go back. Now here, now we want to change this content whenever someone clicks here on the button. Now let's go to script file and let's cut this all. Now here let's make a function here, and that is going to be a load function. Okay, so we are going to load the things. So let's say first of all the first parameter is the file name. Okay, we are going to take the first parameter file name, and then the callback. It's after doing that what we are supposed to do. Now let's say fetch. We are going to fetch the file name here. Dot, then we are going to convert it into a text form. Okay, rds dot text. After that let's say dot, then we are going to just say rds, and then we are going to say like, okay, let's do one thing here. And what's that? Let's take the container. Let's take the container is equal to document dot query selector dot container. That's it. Now after that let's say container dot inner html plus, okay, not plus equal to, but equal to the rds. Okay, okay, I think that's enough. So if I do like that and save this, go back here in the button, let's give it the on click here, and let's say load, let's say login.html. Okay, now after that it's done, let's go back here As you can see, the content changes. Click me to change the container. If I click here, this is a login page. First it was a home page, clicking login page. Okay, now the next thing that we are going to do is okay, let's go in the script file, and let's say we are having a callback, right? So we can even change the content of this button as well. So how we can do that? Let's say after doing so, after that dot then callback. Okay, let's go here and say comma. Okay, let's say this dot inner text is equal to change. Okay, let's say click me to go back. Let's save this. Now let's go back here to this file here and click on this. So you can see that both the content changes here. And if I click here one more time, nothing happens right now. So yeah, this is how you can change the content whenever something is some button link is clicked. Okay, by using this simple load function in JavaScript. Okay, so this is how you can use the fetch to fetch out the JSON file, as well as you can fetch the HTML files and get the job done. Okay, now after that okay, so one more thing I want to tell you, that suppose if we can fetch up anything, then it's like we can even fetch this thing. Suppose if I say google.com, at this place let's say google.com, I can see google.com, right? Now suppose if I go here and say like fetch https semicolon slash slash google.com. After that, let's say dot, then we are going to convert it into the text form. Okay, after that, let's say dot, then we are going to take the response and we are going to say like console.log res response. Okay, now let's save this thing here and let's go back to here. Now we are going to get an error. The error will be CORS, course policy error, that no access control allow origin, means we don't have any permission or access or it does not allow us to fetch up the websites like google.com, facebook.com. Okay, we can only fetch like JS files, means sorry, JSON files, or we can fetch any offline file that we are having in our directory. Or okay, so it's saying like failed to fetch. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, you can't fetch these websites right now. Yeah, so as you can see, in this way we can just use the fetch in a various ways. I just explained up, I think almost I was there. So like how you can convert it into text, how you can convert it into JSON file. These are the basic and the most common uses of fetch. Okay, or you can even do one thing here. Okay, so let's say we are having the RDS. So let's say let's see what we are having, like RES start, and we are having a lot of things here. We are having the text as a function. We are having a clone from data JSON. Now we have used a JSON and the text. So now let's take a look after what is the use of blob. Okay, so if I say like blob and save this, and if I go back here, okay, let's go to inspect here and let's see. So we are going to give an get an okay error. So let's not fetch this thing here. Let's say data.json. Okay, let's save this. Now if I go back here, you can see that we are getting a blob, and you can see that here's a type of the file, like application slash json means the type of the file. The size of the file is also there. So here's means here's the type of the file, the blob. Okay, now res dot, okay, so okay, let's see this. So, and after the blob, we are having one more use, and what's that use is we are having a clone use. Okay, if I just do this thing here, and if I go back here, so you get a response here, and the response, what does the response is? It gives us a bunch of data, and what's the data is simply it's like okay, so it's some status. It's giving us status text type is going to basic URL is this. Okay, so what's the URL of the file? Okay, that also we can get here. So why is this made? Let me tell you why is that so. So if you I should just show you in the drop downs, you can see that we are having some variables, right? Like we are having a body used, headers, okay, redirected, status text, type URL. So where are they coming from? Where these variables are coming from? Okay, so they are coming all from these clone function. The yeah, as you can see here, it's the body here, body used, header, okay, directed, status, text, type, URL. Okay, so from here these variables are coming. Okay, the one more is there, form data is also there. So let's check it out. Okay, here's the thing comes like fail to fetch. Okay, so okay, so we can't use this form data here instead. And yeah, that's it. So okay, one more thing is there, array buffer is there, so let's use that as well. You are and now we are getting an array buffer, byte length 24, max byte length 24, resizable false. And yeah, I think that's a little bit yeah. Now these are the different ways you can use the fetch in JavaScript by using HTML and CSS. Okay, so yeah, that's all for this video. Meet in the next video with some new build and technology. Till then, see you.